Hi guys, welcome to another Learn Electronics Repair video. I have here, arrived yesterday, a graphics card sent in by one of the channel subscribers, Gerard, who is over in the USA, specifically Michigan. And he has sent me this Radeon 5700 XT. And he says that the card is dead, and he was going to throw it out, but he asked me if I would look at it, which I said I would. So he sent it to me instead, and he says if it ends up as junk, well, it was going to go in the skip anyway, and if I can fix it, then all the better. So let's have a look to see what's in the box. I've not opened it yet, so I'll have a look. It took a few weeks to get here. He thought it was stuck in customs, but it then arrived sooner than he thought it would. So we're all relieved to see it got here. Let's have a look. It's all boxed. It looks very nice. Disc and what I don't know. Wrist strap. I don't know. A cable strap. Whatever. And one rather hefty GPU. So here we have Asus Republic of Gamers, and it's, as we say, RX 5700 XT. So, what's that on it? Well, you see, that's how it's just come out of the box. So I don't know any more of the history of this card. And in fact, Gerald, if you're watching, the more information you can give me, the easier it is for me to repair stuff. Even sometimes when people don't like to admit certain things. I'm not saying that's the case here, but honest information helps me. So let's start from the beginning then, which is to have a look at the general physical condition of this graphics card. Well, the first thing to note then is that I'm assuming the back panel's missing off it. It looks like screws on here, so yeah, it was like the rear blanking plate's missing, which would secure it into the PC. And I've just checked in the packaging, by the way, and it's definitely not there, so I'll just mention that I don't have it. I tell a lie, let me look in the outer box, one moment. No, I definitely don't have that, so that isn't here. Some weight in it. And let's say there's this like oily stuff on here. So there's nothing much to see. Let's take all the metal work off and then let's have a see what I've got here. Okay, so there was about half a dozen. There was exactly half a dozen screws holding this on. I've just disconnected the fan. It was connected, but I just thought I'd show you. So obviously we have some pads on here, and I'm guessing this is where the oily stuff has leaked out. I've noticed that these thermal pads do tend to have like a greasy substance in them, as I've seen that sort of thing before. So that was obviously sitting here behind the GPU. Yeah, there's a bit more of this greasy stuff on there. So now let's get the rest of it apart and let's have a look to see what's inside here. A couple more screws here, and I think it's probably just there's a few. So obviously the next thing we're going to do with this is give it a good visual inspection once I get the card off, and then we'll check some resistances, and let's have a look to see if there's anything obvious wrong with this. A bit more. Ready for the big reveal, eh? Just imagine this is quite a valuable, especially in the current market, probably quite a valuable card actually if it gets working. It's a rather nice thing to have. Let's see. We often find that often find I forgot to take some screws out. Of course. Okay, we're getting there, guys. I have to find the fast forward button. I'm sure you can find it yourselves. So you can fast forward to the interesting bits, yeah. Okay, so I have no idea what's with this card, so I'm going to publish this video anyway. I have promised that all repairs sent to me will be published, even if they can't be fixed. Okay, so we have some more connectors on here. Oh, I see, that wasn't a fan at all. That's like a illuminated, fluorescent, electrofluorescent thing, I would say. And this one, yeah, push down on it. Okay, so good hefty heatsink there, and we have more metal work on this before we can get any further. That looks quite sticky. I don't know if it's been off before, no idea. There was no warranty seals on any of the screws, so it's possible it's it's come off now. It's possible it's been off before. Let's see. So all the thermal pads here are in place. Yeah, for the MOSFET drivers and for the RAM chips, so they're all present and correct. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Get under the microscope and let's see if we can spot anything obvious first. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look around the board first to see if we can see any obvious missing or broken components. And normally on this component side, if you want to call it that, since there's components on both sides, there's usually unlikely to be damaged, certainly because of the heatsink protects this side of it, basically, so there's less likely to have any damage, but we can just have a look around it. There seems to be 3 phases here, which could well be RAM power. I don't see anything obviously wrong here. So just a little further across, obviously there's not so many components in this area. This is a GPU and all the capacitors on it seem to be okay and intact without cleaning that bit of heatsink compound off. There's nothing obvious there. Okay, we can just come down this area. Another little supply rail here. Could be 1.8, could be PETs, could be 5. There's another one here. So the ones sort of near this end tend to be where you'll find the 1.8 and the 5 volt. This side, this is more likely where you're going to find PETs, but it varies. I mean, they can be anywhere. I'm not familiar with this card. I have to say this is the first of these I've actually looked at. So let's have a look up here. That all looks, yeah, looks okay. So this is going to be the ramp phase, I guess. I'm just going to count 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 11 phases down here. So it's possible it's 10 plus 1, that one of them is maybe doing something different from all the others. We can soon find out by measuring the voltage on all these coils, to be honest. Well, yeah, that looks, doesn't seem to be nothing burnt. Look a bit. Looks like a bit warm in this area, but that's nothing unusual, I don't think. I mean, yeah, I think we can say this area has been running a bit warm, but I don't think that's anything particularly unusual. Okay. That all looks, yeah. And then we're over by the 12 volts, so we can just have a look around here. Anything obvious? This all looks okay. Nothing particular I can spot in this area. Let's have a look. Well, there's certainly no burnt or damaged components that I can see. And I'm going to take the assumption this hasn't been opened up and worked on before. I'm sure Gerard can tell us. Okay. Yeah, that was good. Let's have a look at the other side. So I'll have to, no doubt, refocus the microscope a little bit. It's a little bit raised up. I'll just adjust it. There we go. So, what's that? A new Vitoria? Not quite sure what they were. I was thinking with the BIOS chips. I think they're probably some sort of regulator. We'd have to look them up. I mean, there's lots of components not fitted on here, but whether it's not, is that okay? Let's have a quick look. So I've just spotted something on here. Well, I'll get down the microscope and have a quick look. Actually, down the microscope. No, that looks okay looking down the microscope. I thought I'd spotted something that was possibly broken here, maybe, but no, that looks good to me. Okay, let's have a look up around here. This is all empty, basically. There's nothing much around. Back up to the top. Let's go a bit further over. So this is behind the main VRMs. Nothing I'm spotting here. You feel welcome to shout out, guys, or get into the comments if you've spotted something, or just tell me if you hit the fast forward button. You know, it's boring, but we have to do it. We have to look everywhere. I know it doesn't make exciting for TV, but yeah, if we want to try and fix this, we're gonna have to have a look at it. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. Behind the RAM, down behind the GPU, all looks pretty good to me. In this area, right, these are the little capacitors along by the PCIe. One of these broken wouldn't make it dead though, but it might well stop it from detecting or stop it from working. That looks okay. This is the side of the RAM. Well, looks okay. Looks okay. And then just last little bit. Looks all right to me. There's anything obvious there? No, just lots of non-populated parts of the board. Okay. So assuming a lot of stuff hasn't been taken off this, I can't see anything particularly obvious. There's a little switch here. Is this like overclock and normal? I'd have to look in the manual just to see. Okay, so yeah, visibly this looks pretty good to me. So let's get the ohms meter out and let's see what resistances we can see. I'm on normal ohms range there, so I'm just going to put the black lead to ground. Let's have a look. So this looks like it's probably going to be VRAM or maybe VRAM plus memory controller. So that's what we've got. 14 ohms. That's quite low. Could be the memory controller. Oh yeah, that one was different. Right. So 54, and this is probably 54, I'm guessing. Yeah, so these two look like they're the RAM phase at 54, which seems not unreasonable. This one at 14 ohms, quite possibly the memory controller, and that seems not unreasonable. There's something here, the focus is just John Slot. Let's get it back again. There's something here which looks like it could be a voltage regulator. So we can just check from 12 volts. In fact, while we're at it, let's check the input voltages. So input resistance 12 volts coming in. That's fine, yeah, 2.7. Now I was interested, does that actually go to this thing? No, I thought this might be the 5 volt regulator, just wondering. But never mind. Okay, so 12 volts coming in is okay. Fourth one in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the 3.3 volts. Let's try that one. 390 ohms, I think it's saying. That's, yeah, that seems okay. 12 volts in up here. So it'll be on the inside pins basically. Oh, we have a short. We've got a short to 12 volts here. And on that one, which suggests probably a problem with the main phase. Oops, something short somewhere. Okay, so down here there's a buck regulator. Let's just check it. It could be a filter. 25. It comes from, is that the same as this? So that goes to 12 off interest. Yeah, that goes to 12 volts. So that's just a filter, I would say, coming in. We have a buck regulator here of some sort. Capacitors charging up. 1.2k, something like that. Looks okay. We have another one here, which may be PEX, 0.9 volts. What's that one reading? 10 ohms. Okay, that doesn't seem too unreasonable. 10 ohms. Okay. And then that brings us, these two up here are filters, which are on the 12 volts, one from each of these. And I'm pretty sure these will be reading short, because this is where I have a short. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, I was reading short here. Oh, don't tell me that's the 0 and this is the 12. Yep, that one fooled me. So this is the 12 volts. This will go to here. Okay, yeah, and this one will go to here. No, it doesn't actually. I thought it would have done. Oh, yeah, it goes to there. Okay. Filter coils, filter inductors. So we, in fact, don't have a short on the 12 volts. That's good. We don't have a short. These connectors are kind of like the opposite way up that I expected them to be. So normally the 12 volts is on the underside, but in this case that's ground. Okay. So we don't have any shorts. What I'll do now is I'll just go into and just find out off the internet which voltage rail is which. But I'm sure VRAM, obviously this is V core, not this is V core, all the way down here, and I'll just check that as well in a moment. Memory controller, I think. This we said was on the 12 volts coming in, did we? Just a filter. Yeah. This one is probably something like 5 volts, just guessing. This one is probably PEX 0.9 volts, just guessing. So there's going to be a 1.8 somewhere. I mean, this could be the 1.8. And there's any on back. Don't see anything. Yeah. No buck regulator on the back. Okay, just give me a couple of minutes and let me just see if I can just figure out which voltage is actually which on these cars. I've not seen one before. Well, I spent 10 minutes having a quick look around and I don't really have all the information now, so pretty much what I've figured out. These two are VRAM or VMEM, memory controller, probably the 5 volts, the one I said might be the 5 volts, 12 volt filter, this one don't know, and this one don't know, and there's one up here, don't know. The first 10 of these are V-core, and apparently there's 5 phases with 2 on each phase, which seems a bit strange to me. I mean 10 coils, but never mind. And this one is VSOC, but I'm not totally convinced I know what VSOC actually is. I'm guessing between these three we're going to have at least 1.8 in PEX, and maybe, I don't know. Let's have a look. I think what we'll do is we'll check the one that I missed, which is this one for shorts. So let's see if we get any shorts up here. And there we go. What's on this one? Well, that one's reading 1.5 kilo ohms, so quite high. Okay. So yeah, there's no short circuits on this. I think the best thing to do with this is to go around, plug some power on it, and let's go and measure some of these voltages, and then let's see if we can figure out what we have. And then when we know what we don't have, maybe it's worth spending some time then to find out what that should be. So let's get the test rig ready and let's measure some voltages and let's see what we've actually got on this graphics card. Okay, well that's about ready to go, but what I just thought is I actually didn't measure the last of these VRMs. So before we power it up, this one 2.7 ohms, and this is the one that say is VSOC. It's got to be going somewhere into the GPU. I'm not sure exactly what that does. And I'm expecting this to be very low. Okay, it's reading 0.4 and the direct short is reading 0.2. So that's about 0.2 of an ohm. But for a graphics card of this type, I'm not really convinced that's a problem. Let's just take the little Aneng multimeter, because it's actually got one more digit of resolution, if you like, in the ohms range. Okay, there's also has a light which makes it easier or not to actually read the display. Huh. In this case, not particularly easy. Let me make it out. So yeah, okay. Get to an angle where we can see it. There you go. Huh? Too much reflection on my bench, guys. No, that's even worse. Okay, let's just get to where you can see it. No, just about okay. Better there. Well, it's on the other camera now. You can see it. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a quick look. So this one was reading about 2 ohms. 2.84. What's this reading? This is VCore. 0.47 and the short reads 0.330. Let's go again, 0.30, and this is reading 0.45. So yeah, 0.15 of an ohm. I mean, that might be a problem with the GPU, but I wouldn't be surprised actually if we've got a low reading anyway. I'd have to see if I can find out what this should read on one of these. I don't really know off the top of my head. Okay, so I'm fairly convinced there's no short circuits. Let's see what we can find in the way of the voltages on this. So just get the meter probe, and I'll just get my switch. I'm going to start the PC. Yeah, we're ready to go. So first one we're going to go for is VCore, because if we've got no VCore, the GPU won't get hot. So we're on VCore. Let's power it up and let's see what happens. Oops, I'm on resistance range on VCore. That didn't help, did it? Okay, we have VCore. Yeah, 0.757. And that's getting quite warm already. So let's give it a bit of cooling. Just one moment, I'll find something to cool it with. Okay, so this is just a thermal pad I have. And this is a heatsink off an AMD something. May even be like an Athlon or something, I don't know. But anyway, I put some tape around the edges so it can't short out anything if it falls over it. And just balance it on top of there, and then it's plugged into the system fan connection on the motherboard. So that'll give it some amount of cooling while we actually have a look. I do have the HDMI cable attached to my monitor, and the blue light didn't come on, so I'm thinking it probably didn't come on. You know, it's supposed to be dead apparently. But anyway, let's try it. So once again, we'll put the power on and we'll power up. Let's take some memory, some voltages. So there's VCore. It kind of like comes on and drops, which is kind of like normal. We get a bleep. I just saw the BIOS screen flash on for a moment. Guys, this is... It's not as dead as Gerard said it was. That's the first thing we see. This is not as dead as Gerard says it is. That's interesting. Let's put the heatsink back on, put it back together. Let's power it up and let's see if we can actually load an operating system, and then if we can actually load some drivers on this. Well, I mean, it's loading Windows, so to some extent this is working, yeah. So I'll let Windows load up completely. I'm not sure if there's any suitable drivers on this hard drive, but if we do get into Windows, in fact we might be getting there now actually. Let's just have a look. Looks like something's going to happen. There we go. Yeah, and then let's see what drivers we've got. Let's see if it's seeing the card, and then let's take it from there. Okay, so I'm loaded in there. I'll just make the window a little bit bigger so you can actually see it. Just double click on it. Wait one moment. I'll get hold of it. Okay, let's go make that bigger. Okay, so we can see that Windows knows it's there and it says it's working properly. Specky doesn't see, which I'm assuming is because it's just using the Intel graphics. So first of all, I think there's probably not any drivers installed on this. So what we'll do is we'll install the drivers, and then let's see what happens with it. I've installed the drivers then, and the system seems quite happy. I mean, Specky says it's there. Device Manager says it's there, and it says it's working correctly. So let's try Firmark. Let's just see if it runs. So let's go to Firmark. give this a run, and then I'll see if I find something I can just leave it running. Let's put it to 1920 by 1080, and let's go to the preset. I don't know. Go. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's 140, almost 150 frames a second. So that's running quite well. Fans have come on. We can see the temperature. I put some fresh Arctic MX4 on this, by the way, Gerard. So and that was almost the last of my tubes. So I can't charge you for fixing this, mate. If it's just working, it's just working. But if you'd like to donate me a tube of MX4, that'd be nice. Okay, so yeah, let's let it run for a while. Let's just going through that. Almost finished, and then I'll try just find some sort of demo I can leave it running for an hour maybe, and let's see what happens. Because I'm mindful that you wouldn't send this all the way to here if there was, you know, nothing wrong with it. There we go, it's done. Yeah, you see, some of you guys can probably tell me if that score points is normal for one of these or not. Okay. Okay, let me just try and find something else I can actually leave running for a while now, and see what it does. I've had it running for about 30-40 minutes now. I'm just running some old 3D Mark thing, the free one that I use. Basically, you know, for testing older graphics cards. Really, I don't really have anything particularly to test these more modern cards. So, ask you guys actually. I mean, I can run Fairmark. I mean, I can put some burn-in tests and stress it and run it for some time. Or maybe there's something, you know, I can use that's not quite as stressful as that, but will actually, you know, give the card plenty of work to do. Maybe some game with a demo mode that's free, yeah. So A, something that's free, and B, something I can just leave the thing running for a day or half a day, you know, just leave it there running in some sort of demo mode, and it'll make, you know, a meaningful test of this sort of card. So yeah, please guys, I'm sure there'll be plenty of comments in the comments below about that one. Yeah. Okay, so that's a bit of a mystery really. The card's working. I haven't done anything to it. So what can we say about it? I mean, any guys, if you can suggest something else I can maybe do to see if I get this thing to fail, please get your suggestions in. Gerard, what would you like me to do with it? I mean, I could put it in my, I've got an i7 5820K overclocked on the X99 motherboard. That's the fastest machine I have, and maybe I can just leave it in there and run it for, you know, half a day or something, or a day with some suitable demo running, and see what happens. The other thing I can do is just stick it in my regular work computer. Well, I'll play more retro games on it really, Windows 10, and just, you know, use it for a few weeks, and if you're happy for it to stay here, and let's just see if it will fail on me. Okay guys, can we call that one a fix? Not really, but it's working, and I guess that's the good news. Yeah. Okay guys, see you all soon on the next one. Adios amigos.